I introduce. I'm telling him give it to you extra crispy.
This what? All right. Oh, we back.
What's up, fam? Welcome back. We run it.
The running.
We run it.
The running.
We had the
running.
takeover last time.
We won.
Last time.
We had the takeover.
The
And-
takeover?
Yes.
Takeover. I thought we run it.
No, you
We
don't
run
run it because
we
guess
Definitely
what?
run it.
Serge, you said we run it.
No,
It's the running.
the running.
We run it.
No, you don't take our side.
And he's
Thank you.
taking
Don't
the
take our
side.
We run
side.
it.
Don't take our
thank you.
side.
Thank you.
That's copyrighted.
Let's go.
infringement.
Thank you.
Let's go.
No. He took our side
Let's
and
go.
appropriated it
You know what I
for
mean?
Pride Month. That's why it went like this. Crazy.
Listen,
shout out to the
nothing
Rainbow.
is good as the
Nah.
original.
Shout out
Okay?
to
Yeah,
the Rainbow.
chill.
Nothing is good as the
You're
original.
crazy.
You know what I mean?
The running.
So,
you know what I mean?
gentlemen,
What we talking about?
word. Too sweet.
You know
Let's
what I
talk
mean?
about.
Yeah, you
Listen.
guys are too sweet. Anyway, let's go.
So, welcome back, fellas.
Welcome back.
Nice to be back. Welcome back at home. Let's talk about the king and the queen of the ring. I need some predictions. Who we got set up so far, Serge? Where are we looking at?
All right, so right now we got Zayn against Orton. Rhodes is going to go against the winner of Sheamus, Rusev, Bronson, and Uso. Jade Cargill against Roxanne Perez, and Alexa Bliss against the winner of Ivy Nile, Asuka, Stephanie Vaquer, and
Asuka's
Rodriguez next week.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh.
nigga.
oh, yeah.
So, some really cool, matchups. Some surprises so far in the qualifiers. I was kind of shocked seeing Punk didn't, win his qualifier. But we'll get into that a little later. I want to know, what are your predictions for the Queen and the King of the Ring? I'll start off with mine. So, my prediction for King of the Ring winner is going to be Jey Uso. And my prediction for Queen of the Ring winner is going to be Jade Cargill. So, let me know. Let's start with you, DJ.
I definitely would say Jay. I like Jade, the Jade pick. I gotta go with my man, Randy Orton, man. I go Randy.
Why? What do you think it does for his career, or what does it do for him?
I just think it puts him in contention to be the best ever. Going after what we're 15. Oh, you know what I'm saying? So too closer to John.
Mhm.
If this is John's final run, he can kind of have momentum, kind of maybe 1 or 2 more years, maybe possible.
Mm.
Who knows how long he can kind of stretch?
Does Randy
career.
end up ending his career beating John Cena's 17?
If not, he ties it. I believe.
Hmm.
I believe so. I think they do him justice that way.
What do you think, Serge?
If he stays healthy
What's your picks?
and doesn't look as bad as John Cena does in the ring.
The overall winner, come on. It's going to be Cody.
Cody?
Cody Rhodes all day. It's Cody Rhodes all day.
And what about for Queen?
Queen of the Ring? I'm going to go out on a limb. It's going to be Roxanne Perez. Telling you.
Stop it.
I'm telling you.
Yo, he's
Okay?
been not. In all fairness, you've been picking Roxanne Perez to win everything since the Elimination Chamber.
I'm telling
And
you.
she hasn't won
And
nothing.
you've
they're
been
building.
wrong.
I know. I
every single
understand.
time.
But the reason I'm picking is because when you look at that match, Roxanne Perez and Jade Cargill, I feel like it's
Jay Cargill.
exactly why they're going to make it Roxanne Perez.
No,
Mm.
you
Okay.
can't box
Okay.
this one.
Okay.
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 You can't. They've
Yeah,
already been botching.
Yeah,
lately.
but you can. You can.
Nah, they've been fucking up a lot.
No, you can. Especially
on,
if they're gonna start
Have
her
you-
with a different storyline. No,
No.
they will.
Yeah,
They will. That's what I feel. That's my personal opinion.
Okay,
And y'all can't take that from me.
Of
You're
course.
right.
But
You're
you've been
right.
wrong though.
Chase.
That's cool.
what are your picks?
All right.
Oh, boy.
With the exception of one,
Oh boy.
trash takes. All of you. With the exception of one, right? Jade Cargill is winning the female King of the Ring because she needs it more than anybody else in that selection. She needs it. Roxanne Perez is too new, doesn't need it. Asuka, even though she's coming back, doesn't need it. Right?
Alexa
Now-
Bliss.
Alexa Bliss doesn't need it either. Right? She's a solidified star. Jade Cargill needs it more than anybody because she looks like a superstar. She needs something in her hat. One. That's facts.
Yeah.
Roxanne Perez doesn't need it. Right now, she's on the come up. She could wrestle good, but she's mid card right now. Let's call it what it is.
I got you.
Okay. And I think if Jade wins it, her and Charlotte are gonna have the battle for who the queen is. Because Charlotte has been saying she's the queen.
And
For the
do you,
longest time.
do you guys
they've
do you guys see where this ends? Do you see like do you see where the rivalry begins or where it ends at in this?
Yeah, definitely.
Because what I envision from the Queen of the Ring is Jade Cargill becomes Queen of the Ring. Obviously, she gets her women's championship match against Io Sky. Obviously, she probably squashes Io has the belt,
Or Tiffany Stratton.
Tiffany.
or Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah.
They both
Either
do.
one.
Yeah.
They both do,
Yeah.
but they could go either way. It could either way. Jade gets the belt, right, and then Caution Line cashes in,
That's what it is.
Yes.
and Jade loses the belt just as quickly
Yeah.
as she got it,
Damn.
Facts.
and that's the new rivalry.
Yeah.
I like that.
No, that's not the new rivalry.
Thank you.
That's
It's
a
Or that's
continuation.
that's the
No,
continuation
adding
of
I
to
like
the
that better than-
rivalry.
Yeah.
Adding to the rivalry.
because
It's a conti-
keep in mind now,
It writes itself.
Naomi's been getting her ass kicked by Jade.
Yes.
She hasn't gotten her one up, her get back.
And then
But there's-
Bianca's a factor in that too.
Also, but this is the long game though. That they're going to keep them
Oh,
separate.
yeah.
So I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
think
And you just start building the title notches on Jade Cargill. That's one
Yeah.
title hold, and then she'll get a second title hold. you know?
Because back
The
in
reason-
the day, the King in the Ring
Mhm.
was the first step to the world championship,
Absolutely.
right? So I think they're trying to get back to that point.
for sure.
But I think that also I think they're going to try to involve Jade in like a different feud.
Maybe afterwards, but this is the point. This is
I
her
feel like
breakout
this
moment.
is going to run us up to the road of WrestleMania or to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I feel like this
at
is
least
gonna-
Survivor Series.
Yeah, I
'Cause-
think that this is going to be a rivalry
'cause
again. That runs up until right before the road of WrestleMania or to the road of WrestleMania.
I mean, look at the names though. Like you could end up with Jade versus Stephanie or Jade versus Asuka as the
Yeah.
final.
It-
But
it-
that could be the WrestleMania match.
yeah. And the thing about it is, it's most likely going to be Jade versus Asuka because she is skilled in the ring and can work with the broom.
Right.
Who?
Asuka.
Asuka.
Absolutely.
Right?
Okay.
So
What do you feel about? Because I'm thinking Stephanie is the off pick for that match. Because I know they're high on.
It's
her.
a possibility.
They're high on her.
It's a possibility, but
You haven't given your takes yet. Aside from
well,
Jade.
I gave Jade.
Yeah, I'm saying.
All right.
what's the
Now
mail?
for the male one, Sami Zayn. He's the guy.
Mm.
He is the guy. Cody doesn't need the King of the Ring.
He
That's
sure
like
doesn't.
a demotion.
He doesn't.
Randy doesn't need the King of the Ring. Demotion. Who
Mhm.
else is in there? Jay Uso? Let's not bring up Bob the Goon, whose title run was trash. Demotion.
Yeah.
It's not demotion.
Big
It's not
crap.
demotion. It's accolade at this point. If you want the King of the Ring to mean something, you put it on somebody.
Well, you put it on Bob the Goon?
No, I said Cody Rhodes.
No. No.
Well,
The
your
person-
argument is that he doesn't need it.
he doesn't need it.
But
If-
but his point is being validated that even though he doesn't need it, it validates the King of the Ring
You
because
put it on somebody to
with
that
the
stature.
prestige.
That's what I mean.
The
You're
reason-
bringing it back.
Now, if Cody Rhodes wins it, right? Here's the issue I have with that. He automatically has a title shot at SummerSlam. That means that he has to beat John Cena at SummerSlam or he looks like a loser.
How many days does John Cena have left?
He has until December,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Nobody wants
So-
to see that trash.
Right? But at the end of the day, you can't do it, right? We know you can't do it. If you do it, right, and Cody loses a second time, he is a loser. The first time, he was a dumb loser. The second time, he's a double loser, right? Let's call
Right,
it
no,
what
no,
it is.
you're right.
Doesn't make sense, right? Randy Orton, he's an attraction at this point, right? Let's call him what he is. He's an attraction.
Mm-hmm.
You see Randy, you get excited. RKO out of nowhere. Amazing.
He's still better than half the roster.
He is, right? But he's at the tail end. Sami Zayn
So
now.
leave with that. Don't discredit him.
Well,
He's
I'm not
John Cena.
discrediting.
Just
Hold on.
I'm not discrediting Randy.
I don't mean to cut you off, but speaking of RKO out of nowhere, did y'all see that RKO on Carmelo Hayes
Yeah.
last night? How did y'all feel about that one?
I didn't see it.
You didn't see it? Okay.
Why? Why do you bring it up?
No, because he said RKO out of nowhere. And last night was one of the first times, like that was a brand new spot we
Yeah.
haven't seen before.
Yeah.
So I just wanted y'all takes on that.
Like
It's pretty
Randy is that guy who is always going to be at the top. If somebody gets hurt, Randy is your guy.
Yes.
If somebody gets hurt or injured, Randy is the champion.
Feet,
right?
heel, or face.
Yes. Now, same thing with Seth. Like he's been that guy. If somebody got hurt, give the belt to Seth because he can run with it. He's a proven guy. But the guy to watch out for, who should have been in that match with Gunther instead of Bob the Goon, Sami freaking Zayn.
I can only see it only because of the fact that how when Seth obviously wanted him to join the faction,
Yeah.
in faction, he didn't. Right, so that possibly could be leading up to a
good
fight,
point.
possibly.
But-
You know
but
what I mean?
we're not-
But other than that,
We're not talking about Karrion Kross in that situation either.
that's fair.
Because he's been the devil in Sammy's ear, right? Like they've been trying to build Sammy, and Sammy is a
But do you think
main
he's legit?
eventer.
You
He's a
think
main
so?
eventer.
Okay,
When he fought against Roman Reigns in Canada,
That was a
Right?
huge match.
huge match.
That was
It was
also
so
in
good.
Canada.
I
That
thought
was in
we-
Canada. That was
when
in
we
Canada.
watched
This-
him against Gunther at WrestleMania,
Another huge,
huge match.
great storyteller.
Yes.
Wonderful. But the match is Zayn versus Orton. How does he win this match?
he don't. He get RKO'd.
Exactly.
Put to sleep.
Exactly.
Some nonsense happens and he beats
Stop it.
Randy.
Randy he doesn't have a feud right now. Like there's no
Some
one that's
nonsense
gonna
happens and he beats Randy. Right? Because the factor that we're not
You
talking about.
You got to keep in mind that there's one thing between the two of them that they haven't flushed down our throats yet. Pause.
Yes,
But it's
boss.
coming.
Whoa,
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens.
Yeah,
So
he
Kevin
got
Owens
months
You think he
out.
interrupts
Like,
it?
he got,
But
got
he's the factor between those two. Those two, what connects those two is Kevin Owens.
Kevin, yeah.
understandable, but I'm not even worried.
And then you
about
got to
Kevin
think about
Owens.
Karrion Kross though too.
No, I'm just saying, like Sami Zayn
Where
can
does
get
he fit in
over
all this?
because Kevin
help-
Owens.
Absolutely,
Sami Zayn
absolutely.
win.
But
Yeah,
we
Right?
can't not look at the way. Like we can't not look at it how it is now. Orton's like I'm with you, bro. Orton's gonna RKO the hell out. This
no,
Yeah.
I could see the breadcrumbs that they've been giving us that Zayn is going to turn heel because they've been
Yeah.
giving us those breadcrumbs.
Yeah,
And the first
Just
step
not
would
now.
be Kevin Owens coming in and either botching that match and Zayn goes over, and they're like, "Whoa, was that like a heel type
Yeah.
of thing or questionable?" Like
Oh,
another breadcrumb for
one
us.
of those like, oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
They're already teasing it now. Right?
yeah, they've been teasing
They've
it.
been teasing it. They've been teasing
Karrion
it.
Kross is going to do something because he tried to help AJ, right? Against Logan Paul,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
He's going to play a factor in that match somehow.
In the Zayn versus Orton.
Yes. And
Physically
that
or
starts
in
the
terms of
feud.
like an interview before the match or like
He
to-
could cheat.
Yeah, because the next feud could be Karrion Kross and Randy Orton,
Yeah.
which I would love to see.
That's fair.
I would
To
love
give
to
him
see.
to your point earlier,
Yeah.
giving someone a bump or
I would love
Yeah.
to see
Yeah.
it, but where would y'all put Karrion Kross at this point? Because
He has to
is
go
he
over.
no, he's already over, but is he a heel? Is he a face? Is he
He's a heel.
tweener? Okay.
He's a heel right now for now. But he's so loved by the fans, he's going to get that buzz.
What is that called?
But
Matt?
how do you
What is
get-
it, an anti-hero?
Yeah, he's a
thing?
tweener.
Yeah,
Yeah, but all right, but you get that buzz against another one of the best tweeners
Well, you gotta
in the
build
world.
it.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, you
Against
gotta build it.
Randy.
You got to build it, but that's what Randy is. Randy puts
Okay.
people over. That's why he's so good, right?
You're right.
So
I
I,
just
mean,
can't see Sammy winning. Like,
Like, he
I see
just-
what you're
okay.
saying, but
Randy
I can't see him
Orton-
winning this one.
Randy
We'll see
Orton just
next
had a
week.
match with
Okay.
Tune in next week.
Yeah.
with Joe Hendry. So I mean,
Yeah.
you could put him in there with anybody. That's proof. right there.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I kind of want to get down into the kind of state of wrestling right now and some of the things that have been going on kind of behind the scenes with TKO. So there's a ton of rumors going around that like TKO's drowning in debt, and this is causing some of the situations we see with a lot of wrestlers getting cut. There was rumors that they, $15 million contract for Roman Reigns, and they're trying to get him to like restructure his contract and take less money. And then there's rumors that Vince McMahon is trying to come back and buy the company back because TKO doesn't have the money or can't support it. This is reasons for the increase in PLEs as well as the increase in the price of tickets, which has caused there to be lesser people in the venues, less families going out because of the price increase. And it's just like a huge money grab for them. There was a lot of pushback with the R-Truth cut
oh yeah.
when the fans had like their emotional outbursts about it. Then they brought him back. But all these changes are kind of showing that, maybe there's some dysfunction or maybe there's a disconnect or a power struggle within TKO, as well as a financial struggle, right? So my question to you guys is, first off, with the debt stories, is this going to create like a creative like breakdown, or is there a power struggle between, rumor is, The Rock and Triple H? Is there any validity to this? What do you guys think?
You can go, Chase.
I feel there is some fact to that because of how WrestleMania shaped out. It wasn't supposed to go like that as we look back on it, and we could tell from the outside in. So I feel we can all agree that creative is in a rut, right? Because of these power struggles, because of these last minute changes, because things aren't necessarily going to plan.
Now, hindsight is 2020, right?
Yes.
Is Triple H being restricted on his creativity because he's being told by TKO that they're going to cut certain people? So then it eliminates his ability to have provocative storylines. Is this an issue? Or are we looking too deep in it? Because it feels like there is kind of some repercussions for us really pushing for R-Truth to come back. Because it's kind of a coincidence that, yeah, we got R-Truth, but right as we got R-Truth, he took the belt off of Jey Uso, who is also a fan favorite. And everybody is, you can't lie, like, well, outside of the wrestling enthusiasts, the kids, and just watching him on TV with the belt, that's a fan favorite. And they took him back as the fans demanded R-Truth to come back. Any correlation there?
Oh,
So the rumor with that is the reason that Jey Uso lost the match is because Goldberg's last match is coming up.
True, I heard about
Right.
that, but I'm asking about, is there any correlation in?
So
no.
I wouldn't say so. For me, Jey Uso's title run was flat,
Mhm.
even though he had the fan support behind him. It's like Ultimate Warrior, right? Had the fan support, but was his title run exceptional? No, not in the least bit.
I mean,
Right.
he's had the title for 2-3 months. It's not even like a full run. When did he get the title? In April?
In April.
And what month are we in? The beginning of
June.
mid part
Yeah.
of June?
He'll get
it
it
was
back,
only
hopefully.
51 days or
That's
something.
not a
like
title
that.
run. Like,
It's
let's
not.
be real. Like, we didn't give him a chance.
It's not a title
Yeah.
run, but to his point, it's unrelated to the R-Truth situation because
Totally.
I feel they're trying to Goldberg is coming back next month?
Yeah.
Supposedly. So they're trying to capitalize on the situation now. So they're gonna make his match mean something.
Okay.
You put it on Gunther, you've already set the little nuggets the last couple of years or so. I don't know what it means, if that means Goldberg is going to win the title.
No, he's
Well, let's stay on
We'll
track.
see.
I don't.
I mean,
so,
yeah,
I
but
think
that's what I'm
coming-
saying.
I mean, like,
but
at the
it's
end of the
unrelated
day-
to the R-Truth
well,
thing.
one of the things people are saying is that Triple H was upset that the fans were challenging creative ideas.
Well, I mean, honestly, from my perspective, coming back into wrestling, having such a long layoff, I feel like creatively it sucks. It's not interesting at all. Like the Gunther Jey Uso WrestleMania match prior to that, him beating, you know what I'm saying, Jimmy to a pulp and full of blood. He taps him out with a chokehold.
Mhm.
Like, that's whack.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, it doesn't seem authentic anymore. It seems rushed. It doesn't seem like
Or
we
forced.
need Vince back, to be honest with you. Like, it's just like, I don't know if Triple H is stifled with his creativity. I don't know with the writing team. It's just like too many moving parts. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. WrestleMania wasn't good. Money in the Bank wasn't good. There was nobody in the stands. Like, it's just, and I feel like it's that.
I want to bring that
Wrestling's not
point up
great
too.
anymore.
Yeah, Money in the Bank
Because
was
I
fire.
want to move forward off of that point. So Money in
Thought
the
it was
Bank,
easy.
right? One of the things that Triple H said in the Paul Levesque era was that they wanted the prestige of the WWE title, the men's WWE title, to be on the same par as the women's WWE titles. And since Io Sky has had the title at WrestleMania, she has not defended.
Yeah.
And this is one of the longest times we've gone without a WWE major title being defended.
Yeah.
And we've had PLEs with McIntyre. We've had PLEs that were just like dry as hell. What's up?
They missed.
No, you said with major. Didn't we just have the change this past week?
Cool.
But that was
Title
Raw.
change. Okay.
That was Raw.
Like, why? Yeah, that's weird.
Well,
What's
you-
going on
because-
with the women's title, and why aren't we defending it or holding in the prestige that was promised for it?
Why has a New Day tag? Like, how come they haven't defended? How come? What's the nigga?
Yeah, so we're doing PLEs,
Yeah.
and they're like super dry,
Right.
and then they're trying to actually incorporate more PLEs, like doing 2 a month.
Yeah.
Now,
And what was the purpose of going?
Yeah,
to, what was the
Wait,
purpose of going to Netflix?
Wait. So what's the question?
Well, it's the
What's
money.
the question?
I'm just saying.
Well,
like,
yeah, it's the
creative,
what,
like
what is going on with the
creativity.
Yeah, the ladder of creativity, like
It's-
putting things in its proper place, so
It's
that
broken.
when
Well,
we do
it's
get
not-
a PLE, that it's proper, it's delivered to
It's
us in the
broken.
proper way.
It's not that it's broken, and it's not that it's. I feel like it's a lot. There's a lot of content that they got to put out between Raw, SmackDown, Evolve, LFG. There's too much that they got to do
They're
for
stretched too
everybody.
thin.
Exactly. I think that's what it is.
Well,
that's just the.
so
So how do we explain EO not defending the title? Since
I'm not saying
WrestleMania?
you're not defending the title, but to your point, if you're questioning having
You're protecting it too much.
I'm
As a
not
lifelong
protecting
fan,
it.
you are.
Yeah.
You're not
So-
being real. You're not being honest.
So-
to defend on a roll.
As
so
the
here-
entirety of the rest of
So
WWE.
here's
So
here's
what's
the
been trash?
issue. Here's the issue. And I've said this a bunch of times. The roster is too bloated, right? You need to cut people. You need to get rid of people.
The
You need
women's
to get
roster.
the whole roster needs to be thinned out, right? I've said this for years. You got about 200 people on this roster, and people get upset that R-Truth got cut, Carlito got cut, this person got cut.
Or what's the alternative?
4 people got cut,
You
right?
bring back WCW.
You don't bring back,
But they
WCW.
already
You-
they already got Steve. They already got
No.
SmackDown, Raw, NXT,
Oh,
Evolve,
I didn't even see
LFG, Mexico now, about to get something in Japan, about to get something in Europe. You know this is where this is going,
Mhm.
right? The issue is, right, when you have so many people on the roster where you don't see the women's championship or the tag team titles, right, on a 2-hour show until every other week, right? You only see these matches every other week. You only see the champion every other week. And then the main storylines, which is CM Punk against Drew McIntyre, against Seth Rollins, against Sami Zayn, against Cody, against John Cena, and Randy
You're
Orton,
proving this point.
right? No, I'm agreeing,
Okay.
right? You have these big storylines, and none of those guys have the belt, except for John Cena or maybe Gunther, right? None of those guys have any tag team titles. When we were coming up, right? Shawn Michaels, Undertaker had the tag team belts, and they defended the tag team belts. The Rock and Sock Connection had the tag team belts, and then went after the world title. Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels had the tag team belts. 2 of the top guys had the tag team belts.
Yeah.
Triple H and Stone Cold had the
Triple
tag
H
team
and Shawn
belts,
Michaels.
right?
Yeah.
Right. So
Kane and Undertaker. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we're
that's
treating these titles, the tag team belts, the intercontinental belts, the U.S. title, whatever, like secondary belts.
Yes.
Right?
Because
we're
they
treating them, my point is, right? We're treating them like they only belong with mid-card and lower tier guys, which they don't. Right? The prestige of the intercontinental title, right? Let's call it what it was. Macho Man,
Yeah.
Honky Tonk,
Ultimate Warrior.
Ultimate Warrior,
Perfect.
Roddy
Yeah.
Piper, Mr. Perfect.
Yeah.
And then you even had
Ravishing.
world champions like Shawn Michaels. After
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels won that first world title, he won the Intercontinental title again and the European title.
Yeah,
Come on.
And then they had a
That's-
unifier for the Intercontinental. That was the ladder match with Razor Ramon.
understood. But all right. So historically, the Intercontinental is going to be by default a mid card title because the world.
Yes, but
All I'm saying is these world champions, the Intercontinental is kind of just an accolade you have to get through to establish yourself
I
for
get
the
you.
world title. That's
but
it.
the problem with WWE and AEW, if we talk about AEW, it is a bloated roster.
Well, let me-
there are
Wait,
too
let me ask you
many
this.
people.
Wait.
Let me ask
Okay.
Will Logan Paul ever in Vince McMahon's era? Will Logan Paul be what he is right now?
Yes,
I don't
All
think
day.
so.
yes.
Because
Yeah.
they bring in celebrities one offs.
No, but Vince
Logan-
was,
One
he
off.
was
Vince-
notorious
Vince
for not. He
brought
would
in
have loved
Logan.
it. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
saying in terms of just organically.
No, he.
He brought in Logan
Organically.
because he has
But
so
he's-
many followers.
He's seen this, so it's a money grab now. That's all we're talking about.
Well, I think with
It's
him,
always been
with
that way,
him
though.
it was,
Yeah.
and I think that was Vince's idea. That's why he was advertising.
Would-
They took a percentage, or they took an ownership or something with his drink
with
right?
Prime.
Yeah, with his
Oh,
Prime.
That's why
that's
it's-
right.
that's why
it's in the ring.
Yeah,
it's
that's
in the
why
ring.
it's in the ring and everything. That was Vince
It's in
McMahon.
the ring. Yeah,
That's
that was
stupid.
Vince.
That was Vince
But
Worth.
So-
the all right.
He probably building the value too.
All right, so a way to circumvent that though,
60 million
with the bloated
followers.
rosters though,
That's
all
what
right,
it
at
is.
the way it
So-
is now, I think you really have to establish different rosters. Like Raw has to be Raw, SmackDown has to be SmackDown. The
But
way it
even-
used to be back in the day.
But
Because
even
to your
with
point,
Raw
CM
as
Punk.
Raw and
No.
SmackDown being SmackDown, it's still bloated.
No, that's
It's
what I'm
still,
saying.
Like crazy
CM Punk was on Raw and SmackDown this week. Why did you have to be on both?
because of the King of the Ring. And they,
Understood. You
and-
could have just been on Raw. That's what I'm saying. Establish a different show.
all right, so this is what I'll say, right? We're forgetting one important part. It is a business.
Absolutely.
Ratings go down. Ratings go down. Let's add CM Punk. Let's add Seth Rollins. Let's add Randy Orton. Let's stack the roster. Let's stack the card. That's what they did to get people to tune in. Let's call it what it is, right? And like it is not the 90s anymore.
And why is Roman fighting like not fighting and making 15 million?
He's making a movie right now.
Yeah.
No,
Right?
why are you saying why is he the highest paid?
Yeah,
in WWE?
I mean,
Because
I
he
think
was a
that's
cash
in-
cow for the
Yeah, that's in
prior
merchandise
7
and
years.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a draw.
He earned it.
Like
I'm not saying he
that,
didn't
that's
earn it.
money
Yeah.
talk. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Right?
I guess.
Like,
Whatever.
but
But I mean, like if you took The Rock out of the picture, he's been the biggest thing.
yeah.
yeah.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
it's a bloated roster. Do we need all these people? Do we need Tozawa? Do we need Otis? Do we need almost?
You could put
Do
them
we
on
need-
LFG. You could put them on
But
these other
you're making an excuse
yeah.
for this bloated roster.
Being a lifelong fan.
But that's
right?
why
You're
that's
being
why I was
bombarded.
asking. My question was: is there a solution?
That's what I'm
Could
saying.
we-
I'm finding
could-
solutions.
could we
That's
use
all I'm
Highway
saying.
people.
Or could we
They're
do
doing
another?
that.
Could we do WCW? Could we
But,
bring back WCW, ECW?
but
You got that already.
But then-
right?
but here's
Nah.
here's the
I don't know.
No,
Here's
but
the
that's
issue with
that's
that.
WWE though. That's part of the roster.
so
That's
the,
AEW. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
TNA. That's
Like, what if we gave Paul Heyman
See, but
ECW?
Bro, TNA is about to be WWE
Didn't
in
it?
like 2 years.
yeah.
Yeah. That's,
No, I'm just saying.
that's,
So the thing is, you make a valid point, right? The problem is, right? Who would run it? Who would run creative?
That's why I said like Paul Heyman for ECW, right?
bring it back.
And you could do it, but it would have to be smaller shows, right?
they tried
No,
to
it
bring
wouldn't.
it back. They tried
Yeah.
to bring it back.
Yeah,
And it was
it
horrible.
would have to be
It was-
smaller shows.
It would. I wouldn't necessarily say it would have to be smaller shows. What I would say is that you don't have a PLE every month,
Which is true.
so you could do a PLE every other month, and then you can make it a combined PLE with like either Raw or SmackDown or whatever's going on at that time. So they could
the-
be like an addition to the PLE.
I
And you would only have to show like championship matches. You don't have to show storylines on it. And that gives more people exposure. That keeps people employed. And that's another platform to watch wrestling. And it's Paul Heyman's mind. It's not Triple H's mind. It's not Vince McMahon's mind. Listen, we grew up. There are people who are diehard fans of Paul Heyman's ideas of wrestling. The people that he manages has been some of our favorite wrestlers in WWE over the last 20 years. You name them, right? So I just think that as a business and creatively, if you were to do something like that, that would be huge. If you brought WCW back and brought what's his name?
Eric Bischoff.
Eric Bischoff. Eric Bischoff has a great mind for wrestling.
Chase. Well, real quickly, not to cut before you start.
Yeah.
They tried to bring WCW back, even with AEW. AEW Collision, the whole Nitro entrance, the color theme, and all of that.
Well,
They've been trying to do that.
I know.
So-
on TNT. Like they
I'm
tried to
jumping the
get
gun.
that WCW.
I know I'm going back to it, but what if Goldberg beats Gunther and then Goldberg faces Braun Breaker?
Well, that's
My bad.
later.
I
That's
later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop.
My bad. I'm just, I was trying to help me. I was just
So-
thinking about it.
My whole problem with that is that in order for that to work organically, something like ECW, Paul would have to have total control, and under the corporate structure, it's not going to work.
I would just say that if it,
Yeah.
I mean,
And then
corporately, you can talk all the corporate shit you want. The only thing that matters in corporate levels is the bottom line. So if
facts,
it generates money, that's the only thing
Yeah.
that really fucking matters.
But
facts.
So
I'm gonna ask you something real
What's
quickly
up?
though. With what Dean Ambrose just did recently. Do you think ECW could even thrive in today's
What did he do recently?
with
Remember
the
the
whole
spikes?
the spikes and
Yeah.
everything, and that how everybody was kind of looking at that?
Gruesome.
Yeah, like they were
So
like, you know what I'm saying? If the thought of ECW is
so
extreme,
we forget that wrestling is perceived violence, right?
absolutely.
That was what Dean Ambrose did was actual violence, right? Actual crazy stuff where you look at it and you're like, huh,
Did you see what Penta did to him
when?
with the sticks and just sticking it in his head? And
No, I didn't see
I
that.
saw that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's actual violence. I don't want to watch wrestling just for gore and blood and guts. I don't.
But there's a niche for that.
There is.
We're not gonna pretend that
Yeah.
there's not.
There is.
Is it a popular niche? No. But there is a niche for there are people who are
Facts.
into that type of wrestling. There are wrestlers that are into that type of wrestling. Unfortunately. That guy just got his ass knocked out.
Yep.
But, at the end of the day, it is what it is. We're still watching, we're still fans, and we're just hoping for the best. Let's move into Jey Uso's loss on Raw. Now, there's a couple things I want to talk about with this loss. One, we talked about a few of them already, but obviously, I think DJ already mentioned it. They're setting it up for Saudi Arabia, Crown Jewel, and Goldberg's potential. He's been training for like the last year to come back and have his final match. How do you guys feel about the Jey Uso loss? And what's your prediction for Saudi Arabia? Let's start with you, Serge.
So I'm not mad at it because I understand what they're trying to do. It's going to be in Saudi Arabia. Put it for the world title, give it some meaning. It's Gunther and Goldberg, and you're taking it all off of Jey Uso. He's still going to remain a fan favorite. He's still top tier. And honestly, you could still give him the title afterwards. At this point, you're just building his title legacy. 2-time champion, 3-time champion. So I'm not upset. But on top of that, I don't think Goldberg's going to win. If he comes back, he's doing this for nothing.
What about the way he lost and him crying in the ring after showing off with his son in the ring? Did you guys see that?
They wanted
yeah.
to just show.
What do you think, DJ?
He's walking. He's going to probably take some time away.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
He needs to.
There's a rumor is that he was injured or he has an injury or something like that, right?
Also, I think they're going to put him and Jimmy back
Do
together.
you think it's because Jimmy's been struggling without him?
He need to change his outfits. It's trash. That's
Not
why.
even that.
leather?
I think they just
You not
need
feeling the leather?
I don't know what the fuck that is. That shit's trash. He's
What?
not. He's
Jimmy
he's
or
flailing.
wait, Jimmy or Jay?
Jimmy. He's flailing. That's why. He's not doing well by himself.
He's suffering by himself.
But a lot of tag teams, they kind of like separate.
Yeah,
Listen, but
somebody got to be the
we-
Marty
yeah.
Jannetty.
But we've
Yeah.
seen iconic tag
Right.
teams separate and actually become a little successful separated. I mean,
Not
the,
all.
the Steiner brothers.
It
no,
depend-
remember Rick.
Well, Scott was the successful one.
Yeah.
Rick wasn't the
But
successful
Rick was
He stepped
supposed to
away.
get the title. Remember that?
Wait, but
That was
it's
like
all.
in
It also
the 90s.
to your point.
Yeah,
it
early
depends on how
That's
you're
what we're
booked
talking
too.
about.
Though.
No,
Yeah.
Stevie Ray Booker T.
No. I'm saying it should depend
But
on how you're
Stevie
booked
was the
because
guy. No,
Jimmy, when
Stevie
he was
Booker T
healed,
was the guy.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying tag teams, they break up. There's
Yeah.
one that's really good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Jimmy was loved by the fans like R-Truth was. I'm like he was
Who?
Jimmy. Everybody loved Jimmy.
But in the ring stuff, some people thrive as a tag team, and their slotted time frames.
Understand, yeah,
do a
yeah,
whole
yeah.
match. He may not be able to
Absolutely.
sustain. That's what I'm
if
saying.
Jimmy was a heel, he would have a better career right now. He shouldn't be a face.
I don't think he would. I don't even
But
like
Jimmy
Jay in the
was
ring.
a heel.
And he was
And
doing
he
way
floundered.
better than he was
He
now.
floundered.
Who?
What? Jimmy Uso
As a
He-
heel?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
He did better than he was. Nah.
No.
Yeah.
I
He did his
just
best work as a
Bob
heel.
the Goon and Goon
But
Dave.
what was the point of Gunther getting it back anyway? They didn't have a feud.
So-
They didn't like
Who?
So
Him
Like,
and
it was
Jay.
so
hold
random.
On, hold on.
No,
I
they
do.
did
I
have
do
a
have.
feud.
I do have.
after.
Listen, I have a perspective on it. I'm going to share with you guys. But before we get there, what do you think, Chase? You think it's
So as far as Jay, like you said, his title reign could have been cut a little too short, but it was lackluster to me.
That's
He did have-
unfair.
Huh?
That's unfair though.
Yeah.
If he only had it 51 days, that's not fair.
Yeah. But whatchamacallit only had it one day.
But it also was weird
Yeah.
too. Him and Cody teaming
Bob
up. That's
Backlund.
dumb. Whatever. Yeah.
I mean, they were champions.
I'm
Yeah,
saying
that made
They were
sense,
tag
though.
team champions
No.
together, and they were
Yeah.
also champions.
So
No, I'm saying this last.
But the thing about it is
Stupid.
I think they're really trying to make Gunther look like an unstoppable monster by going through Goldberg.
No, all I'm saying, not to cut your wisdom off, Chase. All I'm saying is like after WrestleMania, they didn't really he fought fucking Pat McAfee. And then all of a sudden he comes back to Jay. It doesn't make any sense.
I agree with you. They fucked up.
That's
there.
what I'm saying.
They fucked up there.
Where's the correlation at?
Yeah.
There was no feud. There was no feuding or anything like that. They just moved on.
between him and Jey Uso.
After the fact, yes. There was no feuding.
It seemed like a lazy story.
Chase,
that's what I'm
Chase,
saying.
even the
Even the buildup was lazy.
even his little match with Pat McAfee.
That's
Like
what I'm
after
saying.
all of that,
Like, what
he
the
like
fuck?
he like dapped him up and like acknowledged him. Like you couldn't even, you know what I'm saying?
He
Do that with
acknowledged
Jay.
Jay though too.
But it was just weird.
So he acknowledged Jay
It's just
right?
weird.
because he went and talked to Jay and said, "I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat you.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna beat you."
because you're wearing yourself thin, this, that, and the
Yes,
third.
all
I
that,
understand, but
right?
okay.
But the thing about it is that this is my problem with the world title scene. My biggest issue is, and I've said this since I've joined the cast, right? Is that the challengers suck, right? Nobody has a worthy challenger to make the world champion look like something, right? The only reason that John Cena halfway is doing it on his hobbled ass, right? Right? And I'm a John Cena fan, but it's not the same.
He's a
Thank you
fan.
for
He's
sticking
a
true.
fan.
Is-
He's a fan.
It's
Thank you.
because shut your ass up, right?
The WWE title.
Because he's going through his greatest hits. And because he's going through his greatest hits, okay, we were living it in an alternate universe. That's the only reason why it's working, because you want somebody to
So
beat his own
Chase
ass.
just brought up a really good point. It's going to transition into what I wanted to talk about next. So my next question to you guys is the heel scene. Right now we have 3 heel champions, 2 heel champions, and a potential 3rd heel champion.
Money in the Bank.
You got it.
Oh,
So WWE, and I think they purposely switched it on us so that they gave all the possible avenues to the championship to heels. So one of the things we talked about going into WrestleMania was that it was going to be a heel WrestleMania. It seems like it's going to be a heel year, right?
Yeah.
So we got Seth Rollins with the Money in the Bank. We got Gunther with the heavyweight championship, and now we got John Cena heel version with the WWE title. So all 3 have the belts. We know for a fact that pretty much sure that Goldberg's going to fight his last match at Saudi Arabia. Because of the prestige, because of the alternative way that Goldberg was broken into the wrestling community, Goldberg was unlike any other wrestler where he came in on the street. That was how he came in. He came in a winner. Most wrestlers come in and they get their breaks and then they finally have a breakthrough, right? They kind of like mid-card it up and then they get their rep. Goldberg is, we all agree, is completely different.
Yes.
Goldberg is going to win the title in Saudi Arabia. But WWE needs to keep the belt on the hill. Seth Rollins is going to cash in Money in the Bank at Saudi Arabia and take the belt from Goldberg. And he's going to use the spear of your boy
Braun.
against the spear of Goldberg
But that's what I was saying. Yeah.
to take him out. And then Big Bronson is going to come and finish him off
Oh,
because Goldberg is unstoppable, but he needs to be fucking retired.
Steve.
So who better to retire him than the Seth Rollins faction with the new spear?
Yeah.
He steps
That makes
over him,
sense.
takes the belt.
That's what I was saying.
That's why a heel has the belt, because a face has to win it, but the face can't keep it, so the face will lose it instantly. And it's
if
going
they're smart.
and it's going to be Goldberg.
If they're
And
smart.
it just has to make sense because at this time, Seth is going to be worried about LA Knight, this great misdirection.
and we
It's
don't
gonna
have
be-
to worry about a rematch of Seth versus Goldberg because he's
It's
retired.
done after.
Yeah.
And now we put the belt on Seth.
Yeah.
And now we build to
The
what I'm
future.
thinking, the future. Mr.
Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins. Makes sense. I think you called it.
Sami Zayn?
Bro.
So what do you
Okay,
guys
no,
think?
no, no.
He is the king of the ring. Let's call it.
So what do you guys
think?
think?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
It works.
I love it.
I was
love
saying Goldberg and Braun Breaker together, but not like
no,
that.
but
No, I'm saying I was that's
to
what
be
I was
the
saying.
reason why he loses is that spear.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I was just thinking them one-on-one pass.
And you can see him running
That's
from
what I
like
was
one end of Saudi Arabia
Yeah.
all the way to the other and a spear and Goldberg.
And you know
with like a super spear.
and you
Run
know
around the ring
what's-
type?
Yeah.
you know what's
like around the
crazy?
stadium.
And
Fuck.
then that match is going to be competitive though between
Yeah.
Gunther and
Oh,
Goldberg.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
And
They're
then-
building
and
We
then
don't
by
know
the-
yet. We don't know yet,
Goldberg's gonna
guys.
get power bombed like 3 times. He's gonna get choked out, beat the choke
We
out,
don't know yet.
spear, jackhammer for one last time, the win. Goldberg goes crazy in the ring,
What if he
lifts up the
squashes
title.
Gunther?
Yeah, it wouldn't
Possible.
surprise me if he squashes Gunther because if
Possible.
you did it to
Seth
Brock, if you
Rollins
did it to
has
Brock,
to go
We-
against
we gotta
a
see-
fresh Goldberg.
I'm just saying.
But
Yeah.
listen,
That's
that's,
why
a
you have
possibility
Bronson
too.
and
We
Braun
could
Breaker.
see a final squash match because Goldberg's known for squashes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
His last match be a squash, belt, cash in on the Money in the
And
Bank
Seth can still
because he's gonna get jumped.
Steve-
Steve, and you
still,
want to
like, he
give
could still,
Saudi
yeah.
Arabia a great
Cheat.
show.
And Saudi Arabia's roof is gonna blow off.
What?
If
Bless.
he, health and
Thank
wealth. If he gets his ass jumped in the ring after he gets the belt, and then Seth walks out of Saudi Arabia with the belt, oh come on,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? And so that makes sense why they took it off of Jay.
Okay.
It's the only way it makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah.
But y'all
Yeah, but
y'all
I've-
said some good shit
'Cause
before.
that's what they did.
And they got it wrong.
That's
So,
what they
I don't
did
know.
with what's his name? Jinder Mahal.
Yep. Yep, they took it off of him, gave it to AJ Styles.
And
Real
AJ
quick.
Styles lost it.
Real quickly, with them taking it off Jay, though, do you think that also proves that, all right, if we need to give it to him, we can in the
No.
future? No?
No,
Okay.
not in the least bit.
All right, so we're back. I want to bring up a new topic. Very first black woman's Money in the Bank winner, Naomi. What are your thoughts?
Great.
She's on a tear.
Just want to highlight her post. Did y'all see the post-match interview where she kind of she got really emotional, but ended up staying in character and, ended up with her hair. She,
that was
I
so good.
Yeah.
Naomi, I love you.
Yeah.
Is she on her Mark Henry tear? Remember
Yo, because she
Oh,
said
yeah.
she said
Yes,
something bitches.
yeah.
She was like, because she got emotional, and then she was like something bitches, and
She was
everybody
like,
Yeah.
she was like, y'all don't get to celebrate me at all.
yeah, that's what she
Right?
said.
Yes.
And it makes sense because, like, me personally, I was like, get Naomi out of here.
Yep.
Her,
Me too.
Her trash ass.
Me too.
Right?
Me too,
But-
Naomi. I'm sorry.
But she has been on a tear.
Outstanding.
And the thing is that I think that's one of the things that WWE does well is that the people that have been there for an extended period of time,
The OGs?
yeah, they get a chance to run. They get a chance to run with the belt. They get a chance, even if it's a short period, they get a chance to run. Like if we look back at Bret Hart was in WWE for 10, 15 years, right? Then he won the championship. Same thing with Shawn Michaels. Same thing with Kofi. Same thing with Jey Uso, right? 10 years in the game, get a chance to run. Even though it might be short,
Yeah.
right? Lived 75 days, 50 days, whatever.
You got that run.
You got that run,
Yep.
right? Jinder Mahal, right?
Mhm.
Got that run. Even though, oh yeah, we're going to promote to India.
Yep.
Not too many people could say, I'm a world champion or I'm getting this run,
No, that's fact.
And Naomi's getting that run and she is outshining everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody.
You can just tell she's seasoned. That's
Yes.
all.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Big
good.
difference.
It's good for this. It's good for the sport of like the women's wrestling.
Yeah.
So like help these young women out, like because there's been a lot of botches too in the women's
Yeah.
side of
And-
things.
And the last time we saw her with the belt, we were in Orlando. She was
Yeah.
a face. She had all the neon lights on the belt and everything.
And
And,
That's
this
fine.
heel run is better than her last.
and this one
heel
is
run.
way better.
And I
what,
like
what makes it different?
Yeah, it
What'd you
seems
say?
realer. There's a little pain in there. She left the company, came back, and I just feel like, everything is sharpened. It's a lot more polish on her character and who
to
she
your
is
point,
now.
she's more seasoned. She's a vet.
Yeah.
Because I think she
Is she the Cody
exemplifies.
Rhodes
She
almost?
exemplifies a great career because she'll give you everything. The other day, WWE posted a little a compilation of her entrances the last 15, 16 years, and I didn't realize she's been in here that long.
Yeah.
So I watched it and I watched all her iterations, and I'm like, this is a career. Like you go until the timing is right. You go with whatever they tell you, with whatever works until it hits.
And
She
once
got it to hit
hits,
in 2016, 17, and she hasn't looked back.
Facts.
Mhm.
And with wrestling, that's usually what happens. Like Stone Cold, he was wrestling since the 80s.
The Ringmaster.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Stunning Steve, right?
Yeah.
Wrestling since the 80s.
Flying
And when
Brian.
that thing popped,
Mm.
it
Bars,
popped in
baby.
a big way.
Yeah.
Like,
Pause.
and there's if it pops, it pops. You know? Pop that pull. No, let me stop. But like there are a few exceptions to the rule.
Mhm.
Brock Lesnar, The Rock, those are exceptions to the rule.
Goldberg.
That's dynamite.
Goldberg,
Yeah, you got dynamite there. Yeah.
Lightning in a
um,
bottle.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns,
Yep.
but even Roman Reigns is
took him a
not an
while.
exception
That was
because
a
it took him
build-up.
a while
build-up.
to
for us
hit.
to buy into it.
Yes, but he always had
For
it,
some of us.
Yep.
right?
For some of us.
So what Naomi's doing, I think she did what Cody did in a smaller scale because she left and came back
Yeah.
and got that like you said seasoning outside of the WWE scope, right?
Word.
And was able to work on her promos, work on who she was. Because my issue, not to
No.
stop you, my issue with black wrestlers, right?
Bobo?
Bobo Brazil
Okay.
and Mark Mero, Johnny B. Bad,
And Macho Man.
and Macho
I ain't never
Man.
said that
You
was
said-
Ronnie, dog. Don't do that. Don't do that.
So- Is that their promo skills? The great ones have great promo skills. But then we see other ones, and you're just like,
We talked about that. We
Yeah.
talked about the promo skills and how
Yeah.
important it is.
yeah, and they seem forced. That's what Carmelo Hayes is going through.
Yeah.
But give him if he stays with the company for another 10 years,
He'll
he's
figure
gonna
it
be
out.
Amazing.
He'll figure it out.
But do you like the fact that he's with the Miz now? And
The
learning?
Miz is going to teach him.
That's what I'm
something.
saying.
Yeah,
You like that?
The Miz is that guy on the low.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. In
my-
the ring.
yeah.
out
My
there.
next
Yeah.
subject, and I'm gonna let you start off on this one.
Oh boy.
I'm just gonna bring it up, and you take it over. CM Punk versus John Cena, Saudi Arabia.
John is gonna win. Hit him with the belt. This is what happened before. We've seen it already. There's gonna be some kind of interference, or maybe our truth comes in and interrupts it. Who knows? One of those two things will happen. But I think somehow, some way, John Cena is gonna win. Simple plain.
You okay with that, or are you disappointed?
Of course, I don't want to see that shit. Like it's his in the ring is like diminished. Like he's no good. He's gonna give you like a strong 10, 15 minutes.
He's going to give you a strong 5 minutes.
Maybe. I'm just saying within like
Uh,
5-minute spurts, he gonna play offense. He gonna take a couple bumps
Yeah.
back and forth, and then he's gonna hit him with a belt. He's
Right.
gonna win.
Serge, what you think?
Agreed. There's no way John is losing that title to CM Punk. Saudi. There's just
I want him
no
to
way.
lose.
It's
There's
such great
no way.
storytelling if he does,
Why-
though.
Why?
If he does lose
What are you
it?
thinking?
Nah.
Why, Ted? Why is
Um,
it great storytelling if he does?
If he loses before
only because CM Punk has always gotten the better of him. It's not going to happen. I feel
got the better of him when he's heel. I mean, when he's the face.
well, he's always gotten the better of him.
You guys are missing the big picture, and I'm gonna let you go.
Mhm.
But the thing I'm trying to get you guys to realize is that CM Punk left WWE for 10 years. He had a pipe bomb that he dropped right before he
Yeah,
left.
True.
Who was laying in the ring, broken through a chair when he dropped a pipe bomb and left the company? Who was laying in the ring?
John Cena.
John Cena was in the ring. He was saying that John Cena is the pariah. John Cena, Triple H. These are the problems with wrestling right now. Now that John Cena is heel, everything CM Punk said when he left for 10 years is
Coming
now true.
Yeah. And CM Punk has become John Cena technically too.
Yes.
Which is why
Yeah.
last night that promo John Cena cut was beautiful as well.
Yeah.
Where he was like, if CM Punk beats me, he has to call himself a hypocrite because he's now in his position.
And he's taking the blood, which is spectacular.
Yeah.
I just wish, right? No, but it's true though. It's true. It is
But
true.
it's not. But you understand that everything CM Punk said about John Cena can be true, and the reason he left because they said, "Well, you left. Well, this is why I left."
Yeah.
And now, if he
Facts.
gets the belt, it vindicates him for leaving for 10 fucking years.
That's
Which
fair.
is true.
That's the That's storytelling.
But
But
they're
it
not gonna let that happen.
Oh,
You know
my
that.
God.
You know it's not
Yeah,
gonna
like,
happen.
you know it ain't
You
going
know
You
it's
know
not
that's not gonna happen,
It
dog.
vindicates him.
You
That's
know
the
that's-
vindication right there.
You know that's
Hold
not gonna
on.
happen, dog.
Real quickly though, to just hop on your point, do you think potentially CM Punk could win it and then Seth cashes it on him?
Yes.
That could happen.
Say
Hell
that
yeah,
again.
that could happen.
It's for CM Punk to
Tell him
win,
again, yeah.
and then Seth cashing it in
On
on
CM?
CM Punk.
All day.
It could happen.
I like both scenarios with Goldberg.
He has
and-
options.
Yeah,
He has options. Now-
it's built in.
Yeah.
the my issue with this main event, it's happening too soon. Right?
Mine too.
Right? Do
CM
it at
Punk and
SummerSlam.
Cena?
Yeah, do
Okay.
it at SummerSlam.
Okay.
Right? Because if you're building up Cody to win this King of the Ring and he loses at SummerSlam, you failed twice. Right? Do it at SummerSlam. Right? Let's hit all the notes. Right? There's somebody else in there that you could give a champion, not a championship title match to. The Miz. Give it to The Miz.
Run
Right?
that
He
back.
did beat him at WrestleMania. Right? You could give it to him. Whatever. Right? I did beat you at WrestleMania. I am must see TV. Whatever.
and it's part of this
And-
tour.
And he gets squashed. Doesn't even cheat. You shouldn't have even been in this match, and then CM Punk comes out. Right? That's all it is. Because who else could he fight? Roman is in there. right?
That was yeah.
Roman has to be in there. But to do CM Punk this quickly, it's just a rush for me.
Even though he's like, it's not now, it's at Saudi Arabia, it's still like,
Yeah.
come on, like we're already here.
To
Yeah.
say it now, it's like, all right, now you're telling me, all right, he's not
Exactly.
gonna win. You're
Yeah.
not winning right now.
Facts. This man has more dates. Like, we're only at the halfway mark.
No one wants
Exactly.
If it was like at 5'10" or something, like
Yeah. And
Okay,
this-
and honestly, I would have rather seen like a Cody rematch before I saw CM Punk.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I thought, I
Exactly.
thought because they did the Randy John Cena so soon, I thought the CM Punk was going to be like one of the final
Exactly.
storylines.
He should have been.
And that would vindicate him for the decade being out. And then it's a very easy storyline to write Cody into, where either he comes in it as heel or there's a heel turn with.
They're dropping the
CM
ball.
Punk.
And CM Punk doesn't have to lose to not win the title.
Exactly.
Right? He could get cheated out of the
Yeah.
title and not lose. Right? So anything, it's up in the air. How I feel about it is it's rushed.
So let's just say CM wins. What's next? What storyline comes after that?
Seth.
Seth?
Yeah. If
Yeah.
CM
Continue.
wins, then it's
It
Seth
wouldn't
Rollins.
be Seth right away. It'd probably
That's what I'm
be what's his name, McIntyre.
Yeah.
It'd probably be McIntyre. It'd probably be his line of enemies and people
be-
who can't stand
It
him.
could be.
He'd
that.
probably have to run through Braun Breaker and Bronson before he got to Seth. So it'll be some storytelling there.
Do you do the potential Sami Zayn heel turn? Like
That's coming.
as a new like for CM.
That's
like
coming.
as a,
When do you think it happens?
It happens at the crowning of the King of the Ring or his title match.
Who's title
Right.
match?
Sami Zayn. The winner gets a title match at
Nah, I'm
SummerSlam.
just trying to wrap my head around.
Yeah,
Right?
just
So
just for the love of God, if
That's all.
anybody from WWE is watching and they're in creative control, no more dick punches.
Right. No more, and then doing pause.
Yeah,
Doing all
like,
this.
none
Right.
of that. No,
low blows.
right, right.
we don't
there you
need
go.
none of that no more.
A
Like,
proper
come on.
low blow.
Shaking
Like,
dice
low
with niggas.
blows.
Like, come on, bro.
Kill
Not
all
bad.
those dick punches right away. Nobody wants to see
Right.
it.
Please.
Yeah.
Low
That shit
blows
is
for
But that's
trash.
what's
mercy.
gonna happen.
That shit is trash.
You like that massage?
Yeah, like that shit is
Yeah.
trash.
Fucking trash.
Let's talk some nostalgia. What's one aspect of old school wrestling you wish was more prevalent today?
I would love to see a scaffold.
What is it?
Scaffold. So it's two ladders.
Oh no, that's dangerous.
Wait, what is?
Right?
Oh, what?
They used to have it.
I know.
And then they would have like this plank.
Platform, yeah.
Oh,
They would have the platform. And they would wrestle on top of the platform. And how you
I
win,
remember that.
you throw somebody
You gotta
off
off
the,
the
top of
platform.
it.
Yes.
And why don't we have this match anymore?
Because it's dangerous.
Yo, didn't
No,
they
no,
do
and
that
what
in
happened?
ECW?
Exactly.
Load
they threw him
management.
through the tables.
Load
He missed
management.
No, he
them.
missed the table.
It
But
was
he
a-
purposely-
He wasn't even a
He
wrestler.
purposely threw
But
him
that was-
further to
he
You
kill
had
wasn't
a
him.
even-
crazy guy who didn't care. You had New Jack. Rest in peace. You had a crazy guy who did not respect.
This dude was
No,
not
because
even a
the
wrestler,
dude
though.
he was wrestling had injured New Jack prior
Yes.
and never
Big
checked
pride.
on him. He split his skull.
Yeah.
And so the
Jesus.
several months that New Jack was out, dude never apologized, checked up on him or anything. The next time he saw him was in the Scalferton match. So he said he purposely threw him further.
Yeah, you got to see it. It's like the
He was really
craziest
nuts, they
thing.
said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But like a scaffolding match, I would love to see one of those.
That's dangerous.
Right? Because you had Big Boss Man when he was bigger. So think about Big Boss Man when he got to WWE,
Yep.
right? Before that, and he was bigger. And they threw his big ass
Off,
off
the joint.
that joint.
Nah.
You know, a match that I'd like to see or
Damn.
something I'd like to see that we don't see anymore. The lumberjack match.
That was my pick. Oh, wow, that's crazy. That was my pick.
That was dope for me to grow up seeing
But
the
they
lumberjack
never, They never
matches.
would beat up the people.
Did they what?
No, they
Some
just
people
throw
used
them
to
back
get that-
in.
Nah,
Nah,
depends
depending
on the
who it
match.
was.
Yeah,
Depending who it
there was
was.
some good
Nah,
lumberjacks.
depending who it was.
There was some
Come
good
on,
I
lumberjacks.
think the
man.
last one was like, what, 10 years ago?
Probably longer than that.
Yeah,
Damn.
maybe 20 years
It's
ago.
a lot of people watching right now probably have no idea what a lumberjack match is.
Fact.
Dog
Damn,
collar
that's
match.
crazy.
But
That's dangerous.
yeah,
Yeah, nah, not anymore.
I
Damn.
saw. Who did I
Roddy
see?
Piper, I think,
It
lost.
was
to
Ric
Lisa
Flair
Miz
and Roddy Piper
and Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Yep, I saw that one, and then
Yeah.
there was another one. I think
Trash.
Hulk Hogan. Didn't Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair do that match?
No,
Wait,
No.
what's
they
the?
probably did a strap match.
what
Oh,
was
that's
it-
probably what it was. A strap.
Was
match.
it popularized in WCW? The Four Corners match. You got to touch all
That's
the
the strap
four-
match.
the strap
Yeah,
match.
yeah.
But
that's what it
they
is.
always do it the
It
same way.
was a different name.
Where it's the big
different-
guy,
yeah.
and he carries the guy, tap, then the
The big
little
guy.
guy taps, and then the little guy jumps off and holds him, and then
Yeah.
he jumps over him and taps, and he wins.
Yeah.
It's the same shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Wrestling
Let's
101.
get
What
let's
about
get
you,
rid
D-
of the strap.
What about you, DJ?
I just want them to blue steel cage matches. That's all. Just
Oh, that's a.
You said
that's
what?
a-
blue steel cage matches. That's
Oh,
all.
classic.
What's,
Yeah,
what's your
classics.
favorite blue steel cage match? There's
King Kong-
only one.
King Kong Bundy,
Wait, you said there's only one.
Taker,
There's
Taker,
only
and Hogan.
one.
What do you
Taker
mean?
Hogan.
There's only one.
There's only one that was
Taker and Hogan.
spectacular.
Let me hear it.
Steel cage?
Yes. Hulk Hogan versus Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
Excuse me?
You've never seen this
No,
one?
I've seen it, but you said that's the best
That's not
one.
the
That's the
one.
best one. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Great match.
It's not the best.
It's
one.
great.
It's
What about when
spectacular.
Superfly jumped off the top in
That's
Madison
not a
Square
blue
Garden?
that is a steel cage match. That's not a blue steel cage match. Different.
Why'd they take it away?
I don't know. I have no idea.
It's a different match. But that one had, because it had all the drama, because Mr. Wonderful used to come out to Hulk Hogan's music. Right? He said he was the real Mr. America. And they climbed out of the cage
Trash.
and escaped at the same time.
It's not a
Trash.
popular opinion, but
Yo, do
Diesel
we?
versus Bret Hart.
Ooh. Yeah.
In your house.
Look, look,
Come
look.
on,
Changing his
baby.
tone
Was
now.
that a
Come
blue
on.
steel cage
Yeah,
match?
that
Or
It
was.
was. It
Yeah.
was. It was a blue steel.
Okay.
Look, look,
Undertaker
sit back in
coming
your
out
chair,
from
little
out the
nigga.
ring. I
Okay,
sit back
I
in
get
your
it.
chair, and then
Okay,
come on.
sir.
Sit back in your chair, little nigga.
Okay,
Sit back in your chair, little nigga.
Honorable mention. Honorable mention.
Stop
Come on,
it.
man.
Number
Take-
2
Hold
on the
that
list.
out.
Exactly.
Hold that out, Chase. That was a
Exactly.
good one. Good one. Do we need more throwback personalities?
It's gonna be hard. But
Like
yes.
in what way? Like
Yes.
Do we need more throwback personalities, or do we need more personality in
more
general?
personality, right? I think the R-Truth situation signified that, exemplifies that, because he was one of the biggest personalities in WWE and didn't wrestle really, right? Who is bigger than him,
That's fair.
right? Who is not a top guy.
So you're talking about angles, right?
No, I'm talking about personalities. He didn't even have any angles, right?
But just being himself.
He was just being himself and he got himself over. And it was like little things, like that t-shirt, right? With Ron Cena.
Yo, fire! There was people online saying they waited hours
Yeah.
in line to get that shirt.
Amazing.
Chase,
Hours.
Chase, the 24/7 championship.
Yeah. He got
Yeah.
everything over that he did,
Yeah,
right?
Hall of Famer?
Little Jimmy.
All day.
gotta be,
No, I'm just
All
asking.
day. Yeah.
gotta
And
be.
the thing with that is we could look at like somebody like Drew. Drew is gonna be that guy.
Back
Right?
there.
Yes, he's
Okay.
gonna be that guy.
I don't like him.
You don't like him now, but give him
Drew.
another 2 years if they let him
Back.
loose.
You're saying he's gonna.
They
be
already
that
started
guy?
to. They are
Yeah.
kind of already
Yeah.
But
started
then he hurt
to.
his neck. I thought he was going away because he hurt his
Yeah.
neck. No.
Yeah.
But they're letting him loose. But like when we were at WrestleMania, while he was wrestling not CM Punk, Seth Rollins, he took somebody's phone, his wife's phone.
Oh,
put-
and he tweeted on
he
it.
tweeted bored at work.
Yeah.
right? During
he,
the match.
he actually tweeted that.
Right?
That's
like
crazy.
while
During
we were
the
at
match, yeah.
WrestleMania.
Amazing.
Leaned back on the thing and everything and put board at work and actually went on and tweeted it
That's fire.
and then went back to his match.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Amazing.
Disrespectful.
And
but fire.
it's little things like
Yeah.
that get people to love you and like you. Like
Who's that now? Who is that?
Him.
It's him.
Oh,
and
he's
then
a-
you know who's next? Solo Sequoia.
I like him.
Right?
I like, yeah.
And I told y'all that a couple of weeks ago.
I like his
That guy is gonna be something special
He
because
he sold me. I'm not gonna lie, he sold me
Yeah.
at the Money in the Bank match because he was funny as hell.
when he-
When he was doing that, I was
Steve.
screaming in the house. I
When he was
said,
doing that.
Steve. Oh, that was like on SmackDown a couple weeks ago.
and then like when I'm not gonna lie, when Jacob grabbed his leg and he was like acting like he couldn't move, I was dying
Yeah.
watching that. I'm like, yo, this dude's hilarious.
Steve,
Yo,
okay,
he's
but,
funny,
did,
yeah.
but did y'all peep how he was scared of the ladder though? Every
Yeah.
time he had to go to the top, he was holding on like he was,
first
yeah,
got eyes,
he was
yeah.
scared as hell.
Yeah,
Me too.
that was a good
He's good.
breakout.
Yeah.
for
He's
him.
good.
I think because a lot of his personality at these house shows, I don't know if y'all seen it online.
Yeah.
It's coming out now
Yeah.
on TV.
It's-
like
it's
this is the shit
showing.
he shows, and
and
it's lovely.
that's what you need. You need that right blend of funny and serious.
But do you keep him a heel?
for now, yeah,
Okay.
until he gets over. And
Yeah.
he's gonna get over
No,
in
I'm
a
guessing
big
so.
way.
Solo's definitely
you
gonna
see
get
the
over
way
it.
the way the fans are, like he's gonna have to be a face event.
No, I
Like,
know,
it's
he's
gonna
just, he's an
happen.
idiot. No, I'm just asking.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah,
keep
no,
him
no,
a heel?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
all.
yeah.
And the crazy
That's
part
all.
is you got to keep an eye on Jacob because Jacob's already majorly over.
He's bubbling.
Right?
He's bubbling, dog.
Hey, he
Solo.
is,
Right?
More than that.
What they have, they might have
Yaramami?
lightning in the
Yeah.
bottle with both of them,
Yeah.
right? Because Solo is the antithesis of what Jacob is, right? And then once they do a double turn, or if one's a bad guy, one's a good guy, it's still gonna be fire,
Yeah.
right?
They might got
And
one
then-
with that one.
And then
they
they,
don't fuck
they
it up, if
become
they
a
don't fuck it
tag
up.
team, and then one turns on the other. Fire!
yeah.
Like they got something there. And
They just better not fuck it
That's
up.
what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
They can't.
So to answer your question, it's always been personality. You need more personality. The reason they keep bringing these old personalities back, like before he died, Psycho Sid or Vader or
They have
any of these guys that have come back who are just hobbling because they had it. They were big
Facts.
and they had it.
Yeah.
yes.
Right?
Aura.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's why they keep bringing Undertaker's old ass back Right?
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he got it.
That's why they keep bringing The Rock back.
Yeah.
he
Or,
got
bro.
it. Or Austin. He
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
it.
These guys got it. Right? Some of these new guys, they don't got it.
That's what
Not
I'm saying.
yet.
Like, even listen to the pops when the music hits. It's not the same as it was back
Well,
in the day.
it depends on.
It's getting
These
there.
pops is
Nah.
kind of crazy, bro.
Because like,
Nah.
all right, I'll tell you what,
I
the
don't
Seth
think
Rollins, he gets a pop.
but that's
Jay
for the music.
Uso.
That's for the
Yeah.
music. Roman Reigns gets a pop.
Yes.
Jay Uso gets.
I'm
a
saying
pop.
not that many. That's all I'm saying.
So
Back in the day, it was.
and I'll tell you who also gets a pop, right? Y'all not gonna like this take. The Miz gets a pop.
Yeah,
He does.
Oh, yeah, I'm
Right?
not-
I'm not. Yeah, he
And
does.
the thing is, the Miz is great at what he does,
Yeah.
but he doesn't have a face to shut him down,
Yeah.
right? Dominic Mysterio, amazing at what he does, doesn't have a face to shut him down. All the faces,
That's fair.
Jey Uso included, corny, right? Corny.
Yeah.
They were building some. They were cooking with Cody, and then they
Chase,
took they
the
took
chase.
they took the legs out from under him.
Yes. They made him look stupid. He could have lost that match without looking stupid.
And we talked about ways he could have lost that match.
Mhm.
It didn't have to be that way. He could have got squashed.
If he would have got squashed, I would have been okay with it.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I was gonna say for Dominic Mysterio, I don't necessarily think you have a face to take him out. He's going to be the face.
He is.
Like,
But
But
you
then
need a
once
heel.
he's the face,
You're gonna need something.
once
opposite.
he's the
of the
face,
heel,
right?
It's perfect. You already got it built in. The rest of the Judgment Day.
So, but
I don't
even
wanna see that
still,
shit.
right? He's going to,
He's gonna fight Finn next, though. But
But like,
The-
all right,
Whack.
take his dad for instance. Put him against anybody else. It's the story of the little man versus the big man. Anybody on the
which
roster.
is true. But you also need somebody to combat that,
where
right? You need
Facts,
somebody to combat
facts,
that on the
facts.
mic,
Absolutely.
right? Even though Hogan was going against these monster heels, you had Bobby Heenan, right? You had
Definitely.
Slick, you had Jimmy Hart, you had all these guys who could talk on the mic who you did not like, right? So you need somebody
So our
that-
manager's missing.
Managers are definitely missing for a lot of these guys.
Hell
Hold
yeah.
on, but do you all right
Crockett,
with
come on,
Dominic?
man.
Do you kind of
Yeah.
do the AAA thing with Dominic Mysterio?
Why?
He's over.
He's over.
He's over. Why would
don't-
you send him
don't
to
need
Triple
send him
A?
down there. He's
Yeah,
over.
you
Okay.
can't send him down there.
Yeah.
Triple A is like something you build up.
So
Right?
I got one last question for us. Just a one word answer. At the state of wrestling today, if you could take one wrestler that doesn't wrestle anymore from our past and drop them in their prime into the state of wrestling today and make it 10 times better.
Razor Ramon.
Razor Ramon is
Say
your
hello to the bad guy.
Razor
Mhm.
Ramon. Chase, who you got?
Stone Cold.
Who you got?
Sting.
I'm going Shawn Michaels.
Or Y2J, I was going to say.
Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
So
All day. So this is We Run It.
the run-in.
We run it.
The running.
Hope you had a good time.
Wait.
Hit that bell.
Like and subscribe.
Subscribe.
Wait.
We out of here.
Peace.
The run-in.
See.
They know it's the run-in because they couldn't do a show without me. But the run-in took
Make sure you
over.
cut all this bullshit out.
This nigga was sleeping.